let Daddy decide.
which is How Do I? So this week it's How Do I Protect My Computer from viruses? Oh, do you have any ideas?
I mean, I just wipe it and start over. I have gotten better over the years on being able to judge what sites are safe to go to and what aren't, and what links I shouldn't be clicking.
I mean,
So-
that's not like 95% of keeping your computer safe is
Yeah.
knowing when not to click on stuff.
Yeah. So on the rare occasion that it just totally gets away from me, we just wipe it and start over. I'm the worst tech guy ever.
from random kid. That's certainly one approach. So there are a lot of ways, like you said, that's the biggest way is learning which links are safe or not. In general, if you get an email from someone you don't recognize, do not click any of those links. Same with texts. If you get texts from people you don't recognize, don't click those links. Teach your grandparents, don't give their passwords to people. I've got a Facebook friend who this last week has posted several news stories of older people getting had for thousands and thousands of dollars because they're like, I got a call from my bank. No, that's not your bank. If I even think it's even possible that it's not my bank, I asked for a callback number, and then I go online and I search that callback number and see if it's associated with that bank. If it's not, I will literally find the number that I have for the bank, call them, and say, hey, I got a call about this. Do you see anything on my account that would represent a reason for that call? You don't give out information over the phone. Like I don't make payments over the phone. I've had medical people call me and be like, hey, your bill is due, or you can, if you want to pay a lump sum instead of, in payments, we'll dock off 50% of your bill or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'll come in to your office and I will pay it. And I would like a receipt as well. And so I've had several of those where they were legitimate, but I'm like, I'm not giving you my credit card information over the phone. It's not happening. And so, yeah, I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with computer viruses per se, that instance, but just scams in general. You got to be careful of it. And there are some really good antivirus softwares out there that are free. One of the ones that I've used for years is Avast. It has a premium one. I've never used the premium one, but it is a free computer virus software program that works really well. Now, I will tell people, don't have multiple computer antivirus softwares, because a lot of times they will fight each other, because depending on how they're programmed, some of them are programmed to scan a file after it's been accessed, which is not the smartest way of doing it, but some are programmed to do that. And if you have two of them on your machine that are programmed to do that, they access the file to scan it, and then they just keep accessing all of your files that you have accessed during that session, and they will consume all of your computer's resources in a very short amount of time. So go with one computer virus antivirus software that you trust, and go for it. And they don't, like I said, I use a free one. They don't have to be these expensive ones that everyone has heard of. like Norton Antivirus, which is also known to be a resource hog, regardless of whether it's by itself or not. But yeah,
Actually, last time I was proactive, I used Avast, and I haven't put on this laptop because this is kind of a newer laptop. But my last laptop I had Avast on it, so. But
Yep.
I'm kind of terrible, so I haven't put on this one yet. So, but now that we've had this conversation, I probably will go and do that later tonight. So
yeah, it's a good one. I've had this computer for 3 or 4 years now, and I only actually recently put Avast on it. I had used Avast previously on a previous computer, but I had noticed that my resources were bogged down a bit more than normal, and it didn't say that it found a virus, but it did say that it found some memory configurations that were off. And so I don't know exactly what it did, but I know that after I did that, my RAM usage went down significantly. So whatever configuration was there, and it could have been like programs that had services that were installed and not uninstalled when I removed it or something like that. They could have been very innocuous stuff, that it was just stuff that wasn't needed anymore, and it said, hey, this doesn't need to run, it's not attached to anything, or something like that. I don't know what it fully did, but having a free antivirus is a good practice, even for those that know which stuff not to click.
yeah. But I will say, partly in my defense, I have found the older I get, the fewer sites I go to. Like at this point, I essentially just cycle through the same like 8 websites. It's like Reddit to Wikipedia to Facebook to Kindle to Amazon back to Reddit. Like I think back to when the internet was a lot newer and just going and finding all these crazy weird sites. Like that was half the fun. And I haven't done anything.
Get your LimeWire on.
Oh God, man, that if I had a nickel for every virus I downloaded off LimeWire, I would be retired now. The good old days.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah. We'll have to do a follow-up about how to teach your kids to be safe on the internet as a follow-up to this. That's a good way to prevent your computer from getting viruses.
Well, it's not like it's really kind of goes both ways. Unfortunately, it's how to teach your kids, but it's also how to teach your parents. You know? Because like you said earlier about your friend who was sharing those links, like it's a huge problem. I mean, many thousands of elderly people every year get scammed out of money from
what equates to millions of dollars every year.
Yeah. So, and I really need to sit my mom down and just be like, hey, let's talk about your internet usage. In a crazy parallel, because she had that conversation with me as a teenager, but mine was about the sites I was going to with the adult content on them.
Oh man.
Don't think I'm gonna have to have that conversation with her. So
no, older people prefer their dusty lusties. Anyway,
moving on.